So in today's episode of This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things, Georgia Tech Research Institute is to use virtual reality technology to help people who work in chicken slaughterhouses do their jobs, but from the comfort of their own homes. Working in slaughterhouses is notoriously awful, to the point where in the US, annual turnover rates in chicken slaughterhouses can be as high as 100%. And so the researchers hope that their new VR slaughter from home setup will offer a solution for that. As Gary McMurray, a Georgia Tech principal research engineer, stated, "With this job, you could be sitting in West Virginia, put on a VR headset, and work from the comfort of your own home," and that's really powerful. Although why the aspiration would be sitting in West Virginia is yet just another questionable aspect of this whole concept. But on a serious note, is this actually a good thing? On the one hand, making changes to make life better for workers in any industry is a good thing. Take sewage diving, for example, which is exactly as you think it is. It's dangerous, and very few people would consider it to be anything close to a dream job. And so if VR technology could come in and make it a work from home gig, well, that would be great for all involved. However, in the case of chicken slaughter, it's a different situation. Firstly, worker safety and well-being are not the only issues with the job. This is a job that involves other victims, the chickens. These animals endure immense suffering and are forcefully killed, and using VR technology to kill them would do nothing to make their situation better for them. In fact, if anything, it could actually make it worse. Animals would go from being real, breathing, sentient beings to pixels in what is essentially a video game. Since hurting and killing the chickens would feel less real, what's to say that it might not further desensitize us to the violence or reduce the perceived severity of that violence? After all, you could harm an animal, but as soon as you take off the goggles, you're back in your home in West Virginia. How do we then correlate our actions to the suffering of real animals when, to us, it exists within a virtual world that we can simply remove ourselves from at any moment? And on top of that, it's important to note that slaughtering chickens is entirely unnecessary. If working in a slaughterhouse is so dangerous and unpleasant that we feel the need to make it feel like a video game, a much simpler solution would be to stop slaughtering chickens altogether. We could take the resources that go into projects like these and pour them into developing plant-based and cultured meat alternatives instead, and have people work in those industries so that they don't have to kill to make a living. It's just frightening to me that we view animals as being so insignificant and their experiences as being so unimportant that instead of solutions for not killing them, we are finding solutions for making killing them more convenient for us. Sometimes people ask me if I think we will see a vegan world in our lifetimes, and I'm actually confident in saying yes now. It's just that that world will most likely be a virtual world that we create to try and escape from the fact that humans still haven't learned that, ethically speaking, not picking up a knife and stabbing someone to death is the right thing to do. But look, if there is a silver lining in all of this, it's that the world changes very quickly. Things that would have once seemed unfathomable and incomprehensible have become reality. And technology is also something that will help animals as well, whether it be something like cell-cultured meat or indeed even virtual reality. VR has the power to completely surpass any experience someone could have in a zoo or aquarium. People could see animals in their habitats, including in jungles or the oceans. Who would want to see a lion in a cage when they could see a lion in the savannah and be there too with them? Who would want to see killer whales in a tank when you could swim in the ocean with them? VR could even give people the opportunity to connect with animals in a way they currently can't. It could create a virtual space for people to interact with cows, pigs, and chickens. I mean, it's almost like a virtual sanctuary. So this technology can also bring positive benefits too. It's just as is always the case. The meat industry has yet again decided to showcase the worst of what we humans are capable of achieving.